Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and Horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the Rooster. I'm sorry for the late reading, guys, but it's going to be like this for the next couple of weeks as we move through the summer season. I do apologise, but we will get back to normal soon. The best thing to do is hit that subscribe button and then you won't miss a reading. We're going to get the roosters done today, and then we're going to move swiftly through and do the dog and the pig, the rat and the ox, hopefully by the end of this evening. I say swiftly, but it takes as long as it takes, and we'll get that done as soon as it is done. But with my shuffling being all over the place, as I say, I do it with my eyes closed. It could take longer, but I think what we're going to do is we are going to stop about there, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, we're going to take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got two blacks there and a white, so we're going to start off with that positive, and then we're going to move into this negative place. But as I've always said before, white isn't always all right, black isn't always an attack. White is more like, you know, things could be worse. Like, you could be having the worst time ever, but it could always get worse. So let's see the positives in some things, you know. Let's see the silver lining here. Black, things could be better. We're not going to lie. Black is, you know, it's negative. There's negative energy there. It's moving into a negative space. But negative is also feminine. So we have to remember this as well, that there's balance here. We have to have balance. Can't have one without the other. We've got a white rabbit, though. And rabbits being your conflict card, not a great positive to have. Let's be fair, let's be honest, but it is a change, it is a catalyst, it is a shift. So some things have changed, something you potentially expected, something that you saw coming, suspected because you planned it, you know, or you made a decision for it. I mean, the rooster and the rabbit, they have, you know, I guess communication problems. They have I don't know, different ways of dealing with things, different ways of sort of talking about things, or how they would address certain things. And I think right now you're getting a little bit frustrated because everything around you is being done in a way that you aren't familiar with, and you're not liking it. You can see the change, it makes you suspicious, you can see the shift, and if you haven't already thought like, oh yeah, this is what I want, then it's going to be something you don't want, and that's just going to upset your routine anyway. If it is something that you want, it's still a change, so it's still going to disrupt things. Maybe not in such a, you know, an abrupt way or a way that you aren't happy with, but it's still going to be a change. Any change means you have to change your behavior. You have to change your sort of environment. You have to change something that you are, you know, living with around you, because now there's something different in. There's something new here. There's something strange or something introduced. Everything changes. And this catalyst card is going to come in quick. It's going to move in fast. And it's not going to necessarily be a bad thing. I don't think it's going to be that negative in a sense that, you know, we have got a positive card here. Things could be a lot, you know, worse. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be a negative for you to not be happy with it. Do you know what I mean? You can find it disappointing. You could find something that's, you know, happening around you right now somewhat, I don't know, boring, or in some ways, you know, there's more to it than just negativity and being angry at everything. Luckily, again, it's a white rabbit. So the shift coming in is just a quick, fast one that may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It may make you feel like you've bitten off more than you can chew, or worse, you were prepared to take a big bite and you were only given a little one. We've got the tiger card coming in there. That's a protective one. So we're getting a little bit emotional. There's some emotions here that need to be addressed or looked at. And you're more than capable of doing that. You'll think things through, I'm sure. You know, you will assess the situation and basically come to your own conclusions. However, the rooster and the tiger being as alike as they are, I think right now you're being more kind of drawn to controversy. You're being kind of put into this place where hot topics are on the table. You want answers, you want things addressed, you want things to be sort of brought out, because it's getting too much for you now. It's becoming too much for you to have to carry this burden of, shall I say something, shall I not say something, is it worth it, is it not worth it? You're kind of sitting on the fence like a rooster thinking, do I crow or shall I just not bother? What's the point? Nobody cares anyway. And that's kind of like the kind of perspective that you've got on things. You could say something, you could do something, you could make a difference in something or some way. But instead, what you've done is you've gone, let's just see what happens. Let's just see how it pans out. And maybe this was to protect yourself because maybe you instigated some changes that are now happening in your life. So you're busier than you anticipated in the first place. So now that things are getting a little bit more sort of, I don't know, confusing or disappointing or, you know, not happening the way you want them to, it's easier for you to say, well, let's just forget it then. Let's just forget it because I've got stuff that I've got to get on with anyway. I've got these things that I've got to deal with and I've got to adapt to, and I've got stuff that can keep me busy. I think right now though, your idea is to basically just wait this out and see how it pans out, see how things go, see what happens next. I think right now you're thinking, this could be a mountain, this could be a molehill, but I'm not going to be the idiot that grabs a shovel when I need a digger, and I'm not going to start the digger up if there's a way to do it with a shovel. So it does need assessment. You do need to think it through. You do need to come to some sort of conclusion and make a decision based around fact and logic and evidence and observation. There's a lot of things that you need to consider before you actually start making this definitive answer, and it's emotions involved as well. So emotionally, you need to keep yourself in a place where you're not withdrawing or becoming too reserved, nor are you becoming too temper or sort of frustrated and stuff outwardly. The ox is coming in to save the day, so that's okay. We're going to start with a conflict and we're going to end with an ox here, which is in your affinity triangle. If you want to know more about your conflicts and affinity triangle, then hit that subscribe button, because we will be doing videos on that in the future after the summer season is over. The ox is in your affinity triangle, which means it's one of the most compatible cards for you. It's the most compatible sign in your, that you can meet, which is good, even though it is in the negative. So there is some stuff that you need to think about. There is some stuff that you need to consider. There is some stuff that is on your mind. Now, the ox is a hard worker just as much as the rooster is. And I think right now you need to concentrate on putting that hard work in to deal with this stuff that's emotionally affecting you. And that hard work, or even just work in general, is just focusing on what it is that's bothering you and addressing it. Maybe trying to find some resolution, trying to find a way to actually resolve this so that you are, I guess, in some ways more in control than you weren't, or rather more in control than you were. And I don't even think that you're losing control. I just think potentially it's just, you can only juggle so much. And sometimes you got to make a sacrifice and drop a ball. And sometimes you can think that ball's worth dropping because it's just too heavy anyway, and I'll stick to the lighter balls, metaphorically. So while you're juggling through life, you might come to the conclusion that it'd just be far easier just to drop these balls that are not benefiting me and look at the ones that are. I think right now what you need to focus on, my lovely rooster people, is if it doesn't serve you, it doesn't deserve you. You need something that deserves your time and effort. You need to be around things that deserve your focus and attention. You need to be involved in things that deserve your expertise and your mind and the way that you are operating and working and basically thinking. As a thinker, you're a part of that thinker triangle. It's what you do. You have to think, and it's unique in the way that you do that. And I say you have to think because a lot of signs don't think. A lot of signs don't bother. They just, like the doer triangle, they rarely think, they just do. The communicating triangle, even this tiger, the communicating, it's the talking triangle, they're communicators. They don't necessarily think all the time, they just talk. And they do it without thinking. You are part of that thinker triangle. Thinking is what you do. So you have to think. And while you're thinking about it, and you're making these decisions, just remember one thing and think about it this way. As I've said, if it doesn't serve you, it doesn't deserve you. And we'll see how you get on with that, won't we, next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the Rooster. I'll be back later with another reading, and it will be for the dog people. So if I don't see you then, I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching, guys. Love and peace.